When you go to Mars, you will find out that the atmosphere isn't breathable. The Martian atmosphere consists of mostly carbon dioxide, about 95%, and nitrogen, about 3%. It's got oxygen too, but only 0.13%. And life as we know it can only thrive when there is enough oxygen and water, right? So the question arises, how will humans generate oxygen and water on Mars? Is it even possible? Let's find out. In science fiction, we talk about something called terraforming Mars, which is, could we change the atmosphere on Mars by nuking it and actually make it breathable like the atmosphere here on Earth? Many scientists have done research on this topic, but the answer is that it would take hundreds of thousands of years, so that's pretty far in the future. So how exactly are we gonna make Mars habitable? How will plants grow there in the harsh environment? Now, your mind might actually think that why don't we use the oxygen and water generating system of the ISS on Mars? Well, first we have to understand how the ISS actually generates these. At every moment, there are 4 to 5 astronauts working on the ISS, and their daily water requirement is almost 45 liters, which is 1,350 liters every month and 16,200 liters every year. Also, 1,000 kilograms of oxygen is used in the ISS every year. How does the ISS produce this huge amount of oxygen and water 400 kilometers away from the Earth? Well, to produce this, there are actually 2 main systems: water reclamation system and oxygen generation system. To understand why this system doesn't work on Mars, we first have to know how these systems work in the first place. Water reclamation system, or WRS, takes human waste such as urine, sweat, and humidity and processes it into clean drinking water. This process saves up to 98% of water. On the other hand, we have an oxygen generation system, or ORS. This system takes some water from the WRS and turns it into oxygen through a complicated process. Well, this sounds a bit disgusting, right? But don't worry, every 6 months, water refueling missions are conducted to refuel the ISS. To carry 1 liter of water from Earth to ISS costs about $2,500. And using this process on Mars, which is 140 million miles away, is not very cost effective, right? So how will we generate oxygen then? You see, in 2021, NASA had sent a rover to Mars, and that rover contained a device called Moxie. Simply put, Moxie was a small device whose goal was to convert the carbon dioxide on Mars to oxygen by an electrolyzer. And this electrolyzer takes carbon dioxide and heats it up to 800 degrees and produces oxygen. But this process takes a lot of energy. To this date, Moxie has only produced about 122 grams of oxygen, which can only keep 1 person alive for 3.5 hours. So if we want to produce water and oxygen in Mars, we would need to develop a bigger version of Moxie and also a huge power plant. And that's it. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Please feel free to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. Thank you.